DP here with Veterans Network. Wanted to make a quick video to speak about two initiatives that are on the forefront for veterans. So let's get right to it. You may have seen the State of the Union speech that the president gave a few days ago, or you may have seen the email that came. These are the two areas I want to focus on right here. The addition of the 9 respiratory cancers to the presumptive list is one of them. And 2, the law to begin to push for veterans that have been exposed to toxic exposures, being able to get benefits and comprehensive health care they deserve. So you may have seen the email that came out, looks something like this. All this information, we'll link it in this video. But I just want to at least just put it out there and say, these are some things that we should be tracking, right? Once these things get signed, you'll see an update to how the VA begins to look at certain things. So we may see some information coming out very soon for that. So, for example, here is the last update of September 2021 that has the presumptive list of different conditions and how to qualify for those things. Again, this will be linked in the video as well. Some of the most recent things that have been added from last year is asthma, rhinitis, and sinusitis. And it gives the details of locations and timeframes and all that. Now, specifically to the cancers that are being added, and I'll zoom in here so you can also take a look at it a little bit better. These are some things they're looking and adding. I'm not gonna disrespect the medical community by bastardizing these names, but these may be conditions that if you have them, if they manifest as they're in service or post-service by falling into the presumptive side of the house, now you can file a claim, right? So these are some things to consider, and we'll go into more details going forward. But if any time, right, you file for these claims and they've been denied, as you see here, right, we have to do a supplemental claim. So if you've never claimed, it'll be a new claim. But if you've claimed for these conditions and they've been denied before, and now they're changed to say, hey, you actually do fit the requirement for a supplement for a presumptive claim, then it has to go in as a supplemental because you're supplementing new information now to be able to get that service connected. Again, this is the State of the Union piece. Section of his conversation that he had where he explains some of these things. Going back a little bit further, we'll see here actually that back in March there was actually some conversation in the beginning that talked about reducing financial hardship for veteran, addressing harmful effects of environmental exposures, proposing the rare cancer respiratory conditions along with exposure to toxins and so forth. So verse yourself in this information, really take a look at this. The big to do here is things are happening, right? I will share and say that these are some things, and again, I'll also link this video that actually has the live that just occurred a few minutes ago as well to be able to hear some of the language, but it's pretty much building off of the same conversation that was said before. So regardless of where you may sit or your beliefs or where your affiliation may sit as far as if the system is out to get you or not, that's irrelevant. The big to do here is we have got to understand a few things. You're not going to get ready for anything until you start getting seen for something. So if you haven't seen a doctor for anything respiratory, that's the first conversation. We can't file disability until we have a medical condition. And many of us are dealing with things that are not being recognized as medical conditions because we haven't said anything or seen anyone because we know we're going to get denied. Outside of denials and claims, we're talking healthcare, comprehensive healthcare. We're talking about getting care for the conditions that for the things that we're dealing with. That's the first part. And also adding our names to the list for the study to be able to showcase how many people are dealing with these things. Then we begin the conversation of a disability, right? Once your condition rises to a level that's disabling to you, that has to be made known, right? So myself, deployed, been in Iraq, in a combat environment, burn pits and all those things. I was also a first responder during 9/11 in New York City. So I was exposed to all those toxins. So I'm part of a few different respiratory study groups, and I will tell you that it all starts with data. Without the data to actually say we're dealing with things, that's an issue. 9/11 happened. I was a very, very young soldier. And I'll tell you that it's like everything's good to go. Fast forward all these years, things start to come up, and it's like, wait a second, 5, 10, 20 years after a condition or situation, conditions begin to present themselves. So we want to be able to have these things documented. All this to say, this is a quick primer just to say, read up on these things. If any of these things apply, begin to look at it. If you've been exposed to burn pits, begin to start complaining, begin to start seeing a doctor, say what's going on, have examinations done, because once the conversation shifts to filing a disability claim, then we'll go ahead and do that thing. So again, depending on some of the feedback, as usual, we'll always answer questions and get back to you all regarding this, but this is a quick heads up of some things that are taking place that I think have to be talked about. So don't just dismiss the email, don't dismiss this information. If it applies to you or a loved one or a family member or a friend, encourage them to begin to look into these things, because when it's all said and done, if the system is saying, or leadership is saying to a degree, hey, ask us, tell us what's going on, we can't complain you're not helping and we're not saying. And I get everything that happened from yesterday to the past. Today, we have to start again the conversation of getting that data in there and getting the help we need, the care that we need, that we deserve, and having that data aggregated to be able to begin the studies, to begin to understand the effects of all the things that we were exposed to. Again, DP here with Veteran Network. Any questions, comments, feel free to leave them below and we'll go ahead and answer to you and also follow up with a more in-depth video.